But to start at 18 and make a video unboxing growth hormone, is that really what we should be suggesting? Is that really the smartest idea for someone at only 18 years of age? Coach Greg, in today's video, 18 is simply too young. Got an 18-year-old kid. That's right, he's a kid. And he's unboxing, guess what? Growth hormone. Can you believe it? He's only 18 years of age. He hasn't used performance-enhancing drugs in the past, and he's decided to begin with none other than HGH. Why would you start taking growth hormone at such an early age? Well, he says why. And so this guy, he made a video, and he's unboxing the growth hormone, and lo and behold, he messages me, and he asks me all kinds of questions regarding to what he's doing. And so I thought, what better way to help him and to help you by making this video? And so in his message, he says, the reason I began to use HGH as my first ever cycle, my first time using PDs, is because it isn't suppressive. And so it's good, right? Well, he is in fact correct. If you use HGH, it's not going to suppress your own body's natural production of testosterone. And so by that it means by using growth hormone, he's not going to have to go on HRT. Whatever amount of testosterone he has, we don't know what it is, perhaps it's 600 nanograms per deciliter. Whatever, doesn't matter. By taking human growth hormone, it's not going to suppress it. In comparison, if you take steroids or SARMs, whether it's, for example, Osterine, Rad140, perhaps Anavar or Masteron or Trenbolone, his testosterone levels would go down. Your balls, they basically go on vacation. They stop producing testosterone and they get smaller. That's why people make fun of bodybuilders. Oh, you probably got raisin balls. Well, they do in fact get smaller, but perhaps the size of large grapes. And so he says, my own body's natural testosterone production, it's on the low side. He doesn't say what it is, but this is what I believe. I believe he has testosterone dysmorphia. Everyone thinks that, oh, my testosterone is low. Do you really think it's low? He's 18 years of age. He's about 5'9", 175 centimeters, 213 pounds, 97 kilograms. And guess how much he can squat? 440 pounds, 200 kilograms. You don't get to squatting 200 kilos over 4 plates at 18 with low levels of testosterone. It doesn't work like that. If you have a problem producing enough testosterone, if your body is somehow low in testosterone, you're actually weak. You're small. You don't have a lot of muscle. And so one way to know that you have enough testosterone is you actually look jacked. If you're athletic, you're strong, you're an athlete, you don't have low levels of testosterone because it would be literally impossible. That's right, not possible to become an amazing bodybuilder, to build all kinds of strength, bodybuild, have a powerlifting physique while on low suppressed levels of testosterone. You can't spend your entire life with the testosterone levels of a girl and look like a jack bodybuilder. It doesn't work like that. And so considering he's overweight and obese, he's closer to 30% body fat. He's clearly not starving himself. Yeah, I get it. Sometimes bodybuilders, they try to get shredded and that lowers their levels of testosterone. But consider this. If you're 18 and you kind of think maybe you have lower levels of testosterone, could you not try perhaps G-tests before thinking, I'm going to take PDs, perhaps HGH, testosterone, Anavar, SARMs? Can we not start with something natural at least first? Perhaps try some GO2 Max for increased endurance energy, or perhaps Turk Builder or Ecti Builder, you know, natural products that you can get over the counter before taking banned performance-enhancing drugs? GH, growth hormone, it's banned by WADA. You're no longer natural. And so of all the supplements he's tapped into, he's used so far creatine and protein powder. That's it. That's all he's used. And so do you not think it makes sense to use some of these other supplements to exhaust all other natural supplements before taking anabolic steroids, HGH, SARMs, and so on? And even beta-alanine, you know how much of a difference this can make? When you're doing, for example, a 1-minute set, if you're doing drop sets, 4 reps, or doing very intense cardio, it is unreal. You have no idea how good some of these natural supplements are until you've actually tried them. And so please, if you haven't tried these supplements, click the link in the description. Don't forget to add code Greg 10% off. When you're 18, you already are going to grow. You have newbie gains left in the tank. Why are we artificially going to increase the speed of this when we're already making progress at the fastest point in our lives that we'll ever be in? And so save it for later. I mean, if he decides to take growth hormone in the future at some point, then at least he's thought about it. At least he's exhausted all other options. But to start at 18 and make a video unboxing growth hormone, is that really what we should be suggesting? Is that really the smartest idea for someone at only 18 years of age? His next point about why he chose growth hormone or other products, and it does kind of make sense, is that growth hormone, you're going to keep more of the gains than if you use something like steroids. Well, when you use steroids, your testosterone levels go down, and so when you remove them, you now have lower levels of testosterone. And so most of the gains you're making while taking steroids, when you stop them, they're going to go down. In comparison, growth hormone, when you stop taking growth hormone, you're not going to lose the majority of the gains. But guess what? When you take growth hormone, you hardly get any gains in the first place. When you use an anabolic steroid cycle, many people at 18 perhaps are gaining 20, maybe even 30 pounds. If you have great genetics, it's possible to put on 20 or 30 pounds. Now, remember, a lot of that is water, but you're going to gain a shit ton of weight, perhaps 20 or 30 pounds. In comparison, growth hormone might gain 5. Maybe 5 pounds if you're lucky. And if it's more than that, probably going to be water weight. And so what many people experience when they're taking growth hormone is they have a faster metabolism. They are able to eat more. And so for the most part, one of the reasons why people don't lose so much when you're taking growth hormone is because there wasn't much to lose in the first place. And so think of it. You're spending thousands of dollars to make hardly any gains. Remember, I'm speaking from experience both in myself and athletes who I've coached. By far, and I mean by a long shot, the most overrated performance-enhancing drugs I've ever used in my entire life is growth hormone. And if you get real growth hormone, it's very expensive, and I've used it. And the gains were very lackluster. You will make more gains on Anavar or HRT than you will on growth hormone. And so just think of it. HRT at 140 milligrams a week, which is what my doctor's prescribed dose is, I make more gains, feel better on just that than on thousands of dollars of growth hormone. And so is it really worth it? You're spending all that money for hardly any benefit. And considering he's 30% body fat and he's 213 pounds at 18 years of age at 5'9", do you know what would make him have more benefit? My friggin' cookbook. You know how much cheaper it is? If he just changed a couple of meals in his diet, ate at a calorie deficit, a small and little bit, he could perhaps lose 10 kilograms, 20 plus pounds, and look significantly improved. He'd be much more aesthetic. He would look much bigger because he'd have lower body fat percentage. And when you're lean, you look larger than life. Trust me, I walk around, people are like, wow, you're so massive. What do you weigh, 210? I'm like, 185. 185, but because I have single-digit body fat, I look a lot bigger than I actually am. And so if you reduce your body fat to a healthy zone, you're going to be that much better. Think of it. When you're at 30% body fat, you're not as healthy as if you're leaner. Ideal perhaps is 15%. We'll go as high as 20. He's already at 30. He should, in fact, go on a diet. Why are we exhausting performance-enhancing drugs in order to look better before we even change up our diet? Should he not alter his diet, his training, do the best he can to sleep properly, reduce stress, and so on, over using performance-enhancing drugs? He's simply too young. He's not ready for it. His next suggestion is that growth hormone, it can help repair injuries, heal the joints, ligaments, and so on. Yeah, it can. But consider this. At 18 years of age, your body is already at its peak in order to prevent injuries, recover from injuries, and so on. And so why are we adding to this when we already should have no difficulties? And so if you're getting injured, if you're already worried about your joints at 18 and you take growth hormone, what's going to happen? Probably going to get stronger. And what do you think that's going to do? It's going to cause even greater strain on those joints. And it's not what happens from 18 to 19 to 20, couple of years, whatever. What happens with wear and tear in the joint is it takes years and or decades. It's not going to notice it in his teens and his 20s, but what happens if you use these drugs at such an early age and you get super strong, you push the big weights, he's squatting 440, maxing out. Do you not think that's going to damage his joints and make it much more difficult on him when he's in his future? Let's look no further than Ronnie Coleman himself. How is he doing right now in terms of his joints? Guy was so strong, squatting over 800 pounds. But how is he doing now? And so those years of damage using performance-enhancing drugs, it makes it much more difficult on the body, much more difficult to recover. And so if he avoids HGH and increases the rep range, does sets of 10 or 15, going to be much safer to him in the first place. And so no, we don't need to add growth hormone to repair injuries and make our joints stronger at such an early age. That is a very bad idea and a huge recipe for disaster. And one thing I haven't covered is some of the negative side effects of taking human growth hormone. One of which is the moon face, or something known as acromegaly or gigantism. When your bones in fact get bigger, you can in fact change the shape of your face, both for males and females. Some people will notice their teeth are no longer in the same place. Their foreheads get bigger. Remember Andre the Giant? He had a natural pituitary problem of which he produced too much growth hormone. And how did it work for him? Well, he got super tall. Now remember, when your growth plates are closed, you're not going to grow any taller. And so if you're 18 years of age and you take growth hormone, you're not going to get taller. And so it's not the cure or the solution for the short kings. Short kings, you either just got to accept your height, get some taller shoes, or get that limb lengthening surgery. It costs $100,000, 6 months to recover. I don't suggest you do it. Just love your body for who you are. Don't give a shit that you're short. And perhaps just date shorter women. I don't have your solution. Perhaps make more money. And there is in fact a study. If you're 5'6", you have to make $175,000 more to have the same sexual value as a man who's 6 feet tall. And so make $175,000 more. Perhaps make a YouTube channel, perhaps sell supplements, cookbooks. You can make more money, and you make up for being a short king. I don't know. What am I going to tell you? Another thing many people experience is the dreaded bubble gut. The guts hanging out, the big bellies. Do you really want that? And I've seen it on men and women. Nothing worse than seeing a very good-looking female. She's lean, she's in shape, but she's in a bikini and she has a pregnant belly. Despite the fact that she's so lean, she has a pregnant belly. It's from growth hormone. And so ladies, please be careful. Men, same warning. And one thing many people don't understand, they don't caution you, is that when you take growth hormone, you're essentially borrowing from your future. Yeah, it helps your hair, skin, and nails. Hair's growing faster, nails better, you're glowing. It's great. But you're getting it on borrowed time. And so think of it. You are perhaps shortening your life. You're taking and borrowing your years in your future, perhaps your 70s, 80s, and 90s, in order to look better in your younger years. Is it actually worth it? And I can answer you this. Do you believe that I'm educated? Do you think that I care about my appearance? Do you think I can afford human growth hormone? And I can tell you this, and I promise you it's true, I am not taking HGH. I've taken it past a little bit, sometimes for bodybuilding, but I'm not taking it right now. Do you not think that if it was the fountain of youth, that it helped me to look so much better, burns fat, builds muscle, strength, makes you a better person? Do you not think I would take it? And so if I'm not taking it, do you not think there's probably a good reason for it? And so let that be a lesson to you. Think of it. If I'm not taking it me at 48 years of age, do you really think that you should be taking it at 18? And so one thing I really have to give this guy credit for is he's being open, honest, and transparent, and it's allowed me the opportunity to share his story to the world. I do believe that him doing so has allowed me to share this to thousands of people who are perhaps contemplating using HGH, and it's going to make them think twice. And so he's not a fake natty. He's very open. He's opening the box. He's showing you what he's doing. He's saying, I'm going to do this. And I really appreciate him doing this and reaching out to me and allowing me to do a story on this, because I do believe it's a very important message. I'm happy to have been able to share it. I'm happy to show you that you need to think twice about this, and that using growth hormone at 18 years of age is a very big mistake. Now, unless, of course, it's with the advice and consent from your doctor, and it's 100% legal in your country. Remember, all countries have different laws. Then, of course, do not do it. But if you, in fact, have a doctor that suggests you should, in fact, take this, that you need it, then, of course, listen to your doctor. And so he's saying he's spending about $220 a month US for growth hormone. It's fake. If you're getting quality growth hormone, typically it's going to be costing upwards of $20 per IU, just one. And one is a replacement dose, 20 times 30, $600 a month. If you're using more like bodybuilding doses, for example, 3, 4, 5, 6, all the way up to 10, you can do the math. And yeah, I get it. Some people are buying it from cheaper sources from who knows where. But if the price is too good to be true, it probably is. It's probably not real growth hormone. It's perhaps of lower quality. And so I'm not telling you to go out and buy it. I'm in fact saying, please be careful. And so during the video, he's saying, hey, I look like dog shit. He's flexing. He clearly is very strong. But he, as many young people struggle with, is they struggle with their appearance. They're not happy with their flexion to have in the mirror. He's perhaps comparing himself to other people. Perhaps he's looking at Sam Sulek or Chris Bumstead and saying, why don't I look like that? It's very difficult in today's day and age for young men to feel like they look good. And so the pressures are there. And so I absolutely can understand why he would want to do these things. I'm simply cautioning him and the rest rest of you who are watching this to please think again. Think twice. Lay out the pros and the cons. Is it worth it? Subscribe, click the bell button, comment to boost the algorithm, like this video if you in fact liked it. Watch one of those 2 bloops. And of course, cookbooks, training books, coaching plans by me and my team, the circle die book, all the stuff you can see, Hard Last Time clothing line, coaching plans by me and my team, all of it on the website, free diet and training program. Head over to the website, code Greg 10% off. And until next time, I am out.